This to the Orchid Pavilion collection, are considered masterpieces of Chinese calligraphy and are studied and admired by calligraphers to this day. The Eastern Han Dynasty also had a significant impact on the development of Chinese cuisine. During this period, many new foods and cooking techniques were introduced, including the use of soy sauce, vinegar, and pickling. The famous book on Chinese cuisine, the Suiwan Shidan, was written during the Eastern Han Dynasty and contains recipes for a wide variety of dishes that are still enjoyed today. The period also saw the introduction of tea as a popular beverage, which has since become an integral part of Chinese culture. In addition to its cultural and intellectual contributions, the Eastern Han Dynasty also played an important role in the political and social development of China. The period saw the establishment of a highly centralized imperial government, which helped to unify the country and establish a sense of national identity. The dynasty also saw the introduction of a civil service system, which allowed for the recruitment of talented individuals based on merit rather than social status, and which remained a cornerstone of Chinese government for centuries. Despite its many accomplishments, the Eastern Han Dynasty was ultimately brought down by a combination of internal and external pressures. Economic inequality, corruption, and social unrest all contributed to the decline of the dynasty, as did invasions by foreign powers such as the Xiongnu and the Chang. However, the dynasty's cultural and intellectual contributions have continued to shape Chinese society and culture to this day. And its legacy remains an important part of China's rich and complex history. One of the most significant cultural contributions of the Eastern Han Dynasty was the development of literature, particularly historical writing. The Records of the Grand Historian, written by Sima Qian during the Han Dynasty, is considered one of the most important works of Chinese historiography. It provides a detailed account of Chinese history from the earliest times up to the reign of Emperor Wu of the Han Dynasty, and is still studied and referenced by scholars today. The Eastern Han Dynasty also saw the emergence of a new form of fiction known as the Chuanqi or transmitted tales. These were stories that often featured supernatural or fantastical elements, and were popular among the educated classes. One of the most famous examples of Chuanqi literature is the Strange Stories from a Chinese Studio, written by Pu Songling in the 17th century. This collection of stories features ghosts, demons, and other supernatural creatures, and has had a significant influence on Chinese literature and popular culture. Another important cultural contribution of the Eastern Han Dynasty was the development of Buddhism in China. Although Buddhism had been introduced to China during the Han Dynasty, it was during the Eastern Han period that it began to gain widespread acceptance. Many Han emperors were patrons of Buddhism, and the religion's influence can be seen in the art and literature of the time. The famous Buddhist caves at Dunhuang, for example, were created during the Han Dynasty and contain some of the most impressive examples of Buddhist art in China. Finally, the Eastern Han Dynasty played an important role in the development of Chinese medicine. During this period, the famous physician Zhang Zongjing wrote the classic text The Treatise on Cold Damage and Miscellaneous Illnesses, which is still used as a reference by traditional Chinese medicine practitioners today. The Eastern Han period also saw the development of acupuncture, a technique for treating illness by inserting needles into specific points on the body. Acupuncture has since become a widely accepted form of alternative medicine in the West as well as in China. In addition to its contributions to culture and intellectual life, The Eastern Han Dynasty also had a significant impact on the economic development of China. During this period, the economy grew rapidly as a result of increased agricultural production, the expansion of trade networks, and the development of new technologies.